Oh, there it is. There's my music. Okay. Gotta have more volume in that. There we go. Good evening, each and every one of you. Welcome to another great show. Listen, I have been waiting for this show for quite some time because I am very, and you could probably add about 50 more varies behind that, fond of these two young ladies that we have here. And one of them's obviously a mom that you hear me talk about on the radio all the time. I'm talking about the legendary, and I don't use that word loosely. Everybody uses that word nowadays, legendary. Everybody's legendary. I think if they come up with one record or they blink real fast or turn left real fast, they're legendary. No, they are not. This young lady that I'm talking about, Linda Jones, is legendary. She's not only legendary in stature, she's legendary in her music. She's legendary as being one of the few people on this planet, or was on this planet, that could go into the recording studio, do a one take, and make it a smash. There's not too many folks that can do that. Most of them do 2 and 3 and 4 takes or whatever. Linda was known to go into the studio and just do one take and it would come out to be a smash. More on that in a minute. Let's get the panel in here. Let's welcome our guest, Miss Terry Jones, who is the daughter of the legendary Linda Jones. Helen Bruner is the partner who assists in the music, who makes I'm going to tell you guys something. She makes Terry walk right. You understand what I'm saying?
Listen, she's my adopted sister, so that means that's her stepmom too.
There you go. Everybody, do me a favor and welcome Terry and welcome Helen to the show.
Hello,
all you folks out there in TV land, bang your hands together, but get ready for a great show. I'm going to jump in here and get this thing started, and then Terry and Helen, I'm going to move around when everybody else got questions, comments, or whatever. First of all, so nice, and it's so good to see you guys again. We just saw each other a couple of weeks ago at the R&B festival where they honored Mom and this, that, and the other, and you guys look great as usual. Terry, you did a great job on accepting the awards as usual. Tell me something, and here's a question that I want to ask. At this age and at this time, and I'm not talking about physical age, I'm just talking about age as far as being in the business. When somebody like myself or somebody like the panel makes statements to you about how they feel about your mom's music, and Helen, this could include you as well, how does that make you feel? Can you translate that into words so we can possibly understand it? Terry, you go first, please.
For me, it just makes my heart smile. I'm always so thankful and so grateful for people that really still live the music. And a lot of times when I'm listening to people and their stories about Mom, because, I was too young to even know what was going on, I try to put myself back in that time. You know what I mean? Of what they're explaining to me and their feelings about the music and what Mom brought to the stage. It's just, like I said, I can't even really put it into words, but I'm just always, like I said, so grateful and thankful that people still love her music and continue to uplift her legacy and her memory.
I'm going to send you $5 for that, babe. That's the best thing I ever heard you say. Helen, go ahead, babe. Would you please?
Sure. For me, it's seeing Terry because it's therapeutic for her. You have to realize that's her mommy.
Okay.
So when everybody looks at her as Linda Jones, the superstar, I've watched through the years, through over 30-something years, how she has processed being the daughter of Linda Jones. So where there was a time when she couldn't listen to Mom Linda, you know what I mean? And then it came a time when she could listen a little bit. And then people say, oh my gosh, you're the daughter of Linda Jones. Oh my gosh. And then I realized that's her mother and she doesn't have her anymore. And now to see her smile and accept awards and to embrace all of it, being the daughter of a superstar, of a legend. You know what I mean? And that's my mom. Now it's like, that's my mom. So that for me is
Yes.
Okay.
so rewarding.
Yeah.
That is awesome. That everybody, we're gonna take a collection and send this to them as soon as they get off their head tonight.
Listen, we giving it to you real, it's all love.
You got it. You got it. Diane, we're gonna start with you, babe. Go ahead on if you would, please.
Okay. It's good to have you ladies back again. I want to say congratulations, Terry, on becoming national trustee
Thank you.
of the what is this? Recording Academy Philadelphia chapter. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Okay, and I saw your mother once.
Uh-huh.
I just so happened to be going to New York to see a play, and we got there early, and somebody said, well, let's go to the Apollo. I said, no, I was going to go visit my relatives, but we said, no, let's go. And she was there. I was mesmerized.
Oh,
You hear
Diane,
me?
you giving me chills. You're giving me chills right now.
I was really mesmerized because I'd heard her music, but I'd never seen her. I was like, we were like, is this for real? Wow. Because we had seen a lot of other people. Okay, I'm going to give it to you. A lot of other people, Aretha, Gladys, all of them. But when I saw her, it was just like something went through you, and that I always remember that.
Wow. I love that.
That's
amazing. I love hearing that. And those are the things that still make my heart smile, like I said earlier, because, I can only imagine, you know what I mean? You being there and experiencing that. And when it comes to her live performances, it's really interesting. They used to say that she was on the show and it would be all of these different male artists and male groups, and none of them wanted to follow her. I was like, what?
That's right.
You get this little thing coming out and performing it. They just said, let her go last,
Right.
So, but thank you, Diane, for that story. Like I said, anything that people share with me, is a treasure to me. So I thank you for, letting me in on your memory and your experience with Mom.
Thank you, Di.
Okay.
We're gonna move. I'm gonna move over to Drew. Go ahead, Drew.
Ladies, it is a pleasure meeting you. Really is. But picking up on DFP's point, the accolades. Do you realize that Al Goodman from Ray Goodman and Brown, the late Al Goodman, and Gladys Knight spoke highly of your mom?
Yep.
I'm not sure if you're aware of that, but I read some liner notes where Gladys says your mom was one of her 3 best singers, aside from Aretha and whoever Edith Piaf is. But just hearing that type of royalty speak of your mom, it's wonderful. And I wasn't sure if you was aware of that, but I figured I'd point it out to you.
Yeah, I am. And actually, Helen and I happened to be at an event in Los Angeles and had an opportunity to go up and speak to Miss Gladys Knight at that time. And, she gave us so much love, and it was just an honor to meet her as well. And for her to say that, please, that means the world to me as well.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Thank you for sharing that. And Al, I know her and Al, in the Moments, they were in the studio together a lot. They were on the same label, all platinum. They were on the same label. So and right now, Helen and I, we work very closely with Billy Brown of the Moments and Ray Goodman and Brown. And it's just, he has stories. Everybody has stories that are just, like I said, just so precious to me.
And it's so funny because Billy Brown, he said when he's talking to Terry, and all of a sudden he goes, "You were the baby." Like, I'm talking to the baby. And this is little baby. You know what I mean? It's so funny. You know what I mean? So it was really beautiful.
That's cool.
Terry, you don't mind me asking, how old was you when your mom passed?
About 5. I was really, really young. Really young. Because me and my sister, who actually has passed on from cancer, she we were kind of, with my grandmother, because my mom was on the road all the time. So And really was something, because the day she passed, you know, my family tell me about this, and I kind of, you know, just as a little girl, vaguely remember some of the memories of that. But she was at the Apollo on a 2-week stint.
Right.
And you know, my mom was a diabetic, so she was not feeling well. She came home to my grandmother's house in Newark, which is where we live, which is the street that's named after her, and lay down and never woke up. Went into a diabetic coma.
Yeah.
So you know, that situation was really something. So when I hear about the Apollo and see the Apollo, matter of fact, I've been trying to get see if they have some old photos and things from that particular 2 weeks. So you know, yep.
Footage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Way to go, Drew. Always tough. Always tough. Thank you, my brother. Let me move down. Now, I must tell you about this next person here. I think I told you about this before. This guy here is truly, if there's a Linda Jones fan in the world, he's right here, and he lives in middle. Look, he's out holding the album.
Oh, you got the Neptune. You got the Neptune record.
Go ahead, Kev. You up, bud?
Yeah, good evening. I think Terry, I think the last time I met you, I think we was part of the Magnificent Seven some months ago.
Okay.
And when I found out that, you know, you helped night, I start going through the backgrounds and including everything that, you know, your mother, you know, your sister was doing. And I came across you singing some of her songs. And especially the one, that's when I stopped loving you. I put this record on, and I could swear I thought that was your mom standing there talking to you. You know,
wow. Wow.
Your voices. I mean, if you were out the bank and they try to come after you and your mom, they wouldn't know who to go after if they went to a voice. You know,
so voice it.
Because both of y'all sound the same.
Oh, well, thanks.
That's
You know,
awesome.
that's DNA.
That's
what,
awesome.
you know, and
That's
people
awesome.
say that to me all the time, and I'm like, okay, I don't, you know.
Okay, cool.
But you know, listen, it's a blessing. I accept that.
Okay.
You know, with love. You know.
All right.
Thank you. Yeah.
Good
I
point,
tell
Kev.
you,
We'll be
Kevin-
back at you in just a minute. Jay, go ahead, my brother.
Hey, good evening, ladies.
Good
Welcome
evening.
to our
Good
show.
evening. Thank you.
I just want to let you know that I spent my summers in my youth on Avon Avenue
Ooh, in Newark,
in Newark, New
New
Jersey.
Jersey.
My
Okay.
grandparents lived on Avon Avenue.
Wow.
And,
Wow.
yeah.
Not far from Sherman Avenue, which is the street that's named after Mom, Linda Jones Way.
You
Mm-hmm.
know, when Ali said we were going to have you on the show, I started listening a little more to some of her songs. Your mother had a very strong and powerful voice, you know, and all those people they mentioned Gladys Knight and Aretha Franklin. I'm sure when they heard, you know, her recordings, they sat down and said, "Let me check this out." Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fresh.
Okay, Jay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. We'll be back at you in just a minute. Professor, let me come over there to you because I know you burning up and ready to say something here. Go ahead, Professor.
It is so wonderful to see you ladies again. Thank you for joining us again. And I listened to a song today, Baby I Know. Oh my God. Yes, for the Grammy. Awesome. I love the mixture. Because when you're not expecting it, here she comes. And oh my God. Oh my God. Now I don't know. I told you earlier about my sis who absolutely adored your mom. I don't think she's heard that. I'm going to make sure. I think she's watching though right now, but I'm going to make sure that she hears it.
All right. Very good.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, her nickname is Easy Breezy.
Okay. The album. In that particular song, we were working on the full album. It's called Soul Talking.
Yeah.
And Helen and I mean, we produced it and did everything on that record, the entire album. But we got to the last song and we're recording, and all of a sudden we heard a third, because we do all the background vocals and all the music. We heard a third voice.
Wow.
Helen, tell your story on that.
Oh, no. It was a top.
Yep.
And we normally with Terry and we'll keep like a little cheap little micro tape going while we're recording, just in case an idea comes or whatever, and we'll stop and go in. And all of a sudden, when we played it back, it's 3-piece harmony. Now it's me and Terry, and we're like, what is going on? We hear a third note. So I said, wait a minute, no. And I run it back and I play it again, turn it all the way up. There's that third note. And we just started crying.
Yeah.
And then when we played it back again, the note was gone.
Wow.
It was like her saying, at this time, we didn't know that we were going to get a Grammy Award. And I'm going to tell y'all a little story quickly. The engineer that was supposed to mix that record, his name is Craig White. He was the engineer for Philly International Records when they were on Broad Street here in Philly. Right. And he got a call. He said, I'll do the record for y'all gratis, because he's huge, And then he got a call right before when we finished everything to do La Belle, when they had the reunion album.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, look, I can't do it. He said, I'm so sorry, I can't do it. He said, put it back a year or so, and you can always do it whenever. And me and Terry said, no, something's saying do it now. Okay. So we would bring the record over to him. We mix it ourselves, bring it to him 2 a.m. over at Philly National. He played and say, it's good, girls. It's fine. Mm-hmm. And then we heard that third note, and we were like, no, we're supposed to do this record. Mm-hmm. And it was like her saying, babies, go. And then, boom, we get the
Grammy nomination.
Wow. Amazing story.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Amazing. That's amazing.
It was just about doing something with her,
Okay.
Like the Natalie Cole and Nat King Cole thing. So we just kind of wanted to do it. And then the other thing is, when you're putting music into the Recording Academy, you cannot have a vocal that's older than 5 years. You have to have new vocals on there as well. If it's background, whatever it is, has to be new. So the only way we could actually do that would be for one of us to sing. So Terry said, no, both of us have to do it.
Yep.
So that gave us the opportunity to be there with her. So we'll send it to you, Ali. Afterwards, CBS interviewed us, and Terry had a full picture of Mom Linda on her train of her gown. So on the red carpet. So it was an amazing thing. And I mean, that feeling, one of the best feelings in my life, I must say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me just, if you don't mind, let me just pup this up just a little bit. This is why I do this show. This is why we do this show. The information
it's all right.
Yeah.
Listen, we all do what we do because we love it.
Yep.
There's so much love in this room here. I wish we could all sit around a round table and
there you go.
And get to talk.
I am so sure that everybody here feels the same way in their heart that I do. But what I wanted to say was, almost forgot what I was going to say. Your mom is so special to me, even though I never got a chance to see her perform.
Mm-hmm.
Your mom lives in me through you and Helen and George.
Mm-hmm.
George has shared some stories with me that are just, and I'm talking about George Kerr,
that
are just unbelievable.
Yep.
He is still digging for a record that, from what I understand, has never been played yet.
Mm-hmm.
Your mom got on the stage at one event and sang "A Change Is Gonna Come," Sam Cooke song.
That was at the Apollo. I think that was the last.
It was.
It was.
And she sang it a cappella. She told the band to stop. Yep. She took her shoes off and went into the song. And George is digging it up for me. And I thought I would have it by tonight, but he's digging up. And as soon as I get it, I'm going to bring it to my audience because I've been talking about it for a while.
Yeah.
I cannot imagine her doing that song. Sam Cooke is a legend. There's no question about it.
Mm-hmm.
But your mom doing that song a cappella, the only thing I can say, if I was in all I'd have peed myself. That's the only thing I can tell you right now. You know what I'm saying? That's about the only thing I can say. I can't imagine how much strength and power she has in her song to pass, to send that out,
Yeah. And I heard, from what I've been told, is that because she was not feeling well and so weak, she was singing that song and she was so weak by the end that she was holding on to the curtain.
Yes.
You know what I mean? To get that last note out. That's just how,
Yes. And for her to squeeze the last note out the way she sings, I mean, that's just incredible. You got to be in a certain category for somebody to like Gladys Knight to say, oh no, I don't want to follow her. You know what I'm saying? You got to be in a certain category for that. Aretha Franklin to say, go ahead, child, and just sit down and just enjoy that. You got to be in a certain category for that type of situation. And Mom was definitely there. I don't want to take up all the time. Let me go back to Diane. Diane, come on, you got something else, baby. I know you do.
Okay. Oh, well, I forgot that fast. I've been really busy these last couple of days, but I just want to say my girlfriend was Aretha Franklin. She loved Aretha Franklin. And she was with me when we saw her at the Apollo. And she was really crying. And I was like, yeah, what's up? Because she didn't like Diana Ross, she didn't like Gladys, she just liked Aretha.
Wow.
And for her to sit there, because like I said, I was mesmerized, but I heard her sniffing and I turned around and looked. She said, I've never heard anybody sing like that. She said that was like going to church on Sunday morning.
Wow.
Yes. But I remember that show like it was yesterday. Whenever I play some of her music or Ali plays some of her music, it just takes me back to that day.
Wow.
I wish we had cell phones at that time, because I'd be asking you for some photos. I'd be like, did you capture any of that?
Do you remember what she wore?
It's in your heart, and I love it.
She had on, wait a minute. Let me close my eyes. She had on a blue gown, because I thought blue was my favorite color. Anyway, so she had this blue gown, had rhinestones all around it. She looked amazing. And when she opened her mouth, I was like, oh my goodness. Because listen, I went to every show they had at the Uptown. Every show, bad or good, I was there. But I said, I'm thankful now. After she had passed, I said I was thankful that I had the opportunity to see her. If we had got to New York a little later, we would have had to just go on to the theater where we were going to go see, was it Dream Girl something, But had we got there a little later, we would have had to, but we had time enough to go to the Apollo. My girlfriend said, hey, let's go to the Apollo and see what because we always heard about the Apollo. So we said, okay, we'll go. It was like 4 of us. And we were all sitting there like mesmerized.
Wow.
And I was like, oh my God, you close your eyes and when she started crying, I said, oh no. This was too much for me. And then she said, when we came out, she said, because everybody called me Dee Dee. So she said, Dee Dee, that's like we were in church. And I said, yes, it was. Yes, it was.
Wow.
And just that kind of feeling that came over you.
Right.
And like I said, I've seen a lot of people, heard a lot of people, but that show and her singing, that's something that just goes through and you'll never forget it.
Wow.
That's it.
Wow.
Okay. Thanks, D. Let me move over to Jay. Jay, coming at you in just a second. Let me find you over here. Where you at? Okay, Jay, go ahead, please.
Hi, Terry. I saw you and George Kerr together. I guess during the naming of the street for your mother. And he mentioned working with you. Where are you with that process?
I'm not, because I'm a songwriter and producer myself, so we haven't done anything together. I know I call them Pops. So Pops have been working on some other projects, but we have not had an opportunity to do any creative things together, because Helen and I have been working on other things and with release dates and stuff. So Not saying that it's not going to happen. It just has not happened as of yet. So, yeah. But,
good question, Jay. Good question.
Yep, that's a great question. Yep.
Move over. Kevin, come on in, bro. Come on in, Kev.
Okay. Helen and Terry, I spent a good part of the day playing a lot of your mom's songs, going on YouTube. Now, I've seen a few things on YouTube dedicating the street to your mom and interviews with you. And my wife came in and she said, you're playing a lot of Linda Jones music. She says, you especially playing that one song, That's When I Stopped Loving You. You thinking about it? I said, yeah, baby, yeah, okay. So I told her, I said, yeah, I'm all right. Yeah, I'm thinking about it. The whole time I got your mom's picture in my mind, her singing to me.
Listen, you won't get in trouble.
Good old days. Thanks, Kev. You'll be back in just a few minutes. Who did I miss? Oh, the professor. Oh, let me go over to Jay. I'm sorry, Drew. Go ahead, Drew.
Terry, you mentioned that your mom and the Moments were, they was affiliated with the same record label.
Yeah.
Is there any recordings with your mom with a duet with one of them or with any?
Yeah.
She did do duets.
Some with the Whatnots is something with the Moments. Yeah. There
no, I mean your mom. Did she actually recorded a duet with one of the members?
I think it was the entire group. I don't know who was doing lead on it. I can't remember the song, but yes, there are some recordings. Linda Jones and the Moments. If you Google it, it should come up.
Oh wow! Okay.
Come up.
Yeah.
All right, listen, both of y'all get out of my show for this evening. All right, get out of my show. All right. You're right. She's absolutely correct, Drew. Linda did a song with the Whatnots. She did a song with the Moments, and also, which I'm going to feature tonight. Not too many people know about. Maybe I might have got this one by Terry. She also did one with Al Green.
No,
that's not mom. That's not mom.
No, everybody. Her name was Linda Jones. She was his background
singer.
It's just not Mom Linda.
Then I stand corrected. Stand corrected. I thought I had something I was going to spring on everybody. I thought I had. I'm glad you told me.
Yeah,
so I will quickly take that one out.
Yeah, a lot of people thought that because for years, Terry, people didn't know that Mom Linda had children, so a lot of things are just out there.
Right.
So we've been cleaning. We've been cleaning up the past, I don't know how many years, to try to get some of the information. They had her wrong birthday, wrong passing date.
Right. That I do remember. Yeah.
So we got most of the stuff done, but that one there still kind of is out there because it's on YouTube, and people. That lady's name is Linda Jones, so we can't take that down. And she was singing background for
Al Green.
But when you see her, that's not Linda Jones.
Okay. Because one of the guys, when I used to be on the radio station in Trenton, WTNJ, one of those guys called me and told me that, and that you take it from somewhat of a credible source, and that's where you go with it. But I'm glad you straightened it out. I'm glad you. Professor, I'm coming over at your house. Come on in, baby.
Okay. Everybody has a favorite song of hers. I like mostly anything I heard by her. What is each of you guys' favorite song?
Mine, that's always what Dad.
I'm sorry?
What have done to make you mad? That's my favorite.
I think because I have so many. I really do. I'm kind of partial because that's my mom. But there's a few of them. I love Hypnotize. I love Your Precious Love. And I love Stay With Me Forever, which is something that a lot of people have not tapped into.
Right.
But that song is something about it that really just kind of touched me as well.
Okay. Good question.
Do you know that, Al? Ali?
Yeah.
You know that Stay With Me Forever?
Yes, and it's on my jukebox to play too. So on that play tonight.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It's the way she approaches the song. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All those songs are written, but it's just her style and the way she approaches it. She approaches it like a lion getting ready to jump on something. You know what I mean? It ain't smooth coming in. It's like right there. So you gotta pay attention to it, and she just takes you on a ride from that point. Now, Helen, you said, "What have I done to make you mad?" I had to go change my underwear 3 or 4 times every time I play that. You know what I'm saying? That song just does it. It does it. It really, really does. But let me take you a little bit another way. That's when I'll stop loving you. The harmony in the background with the 2 guys is just unbelievable. Matter of fact, when I first talked to George, I said, "Who is doing the harmony in the background?" Because they sound like ladies, but those are 2 guys.
Yep.
I couldn't believe it, but you know, your mom was just awesome. And I'm not just blowing smoke, Terry and Helen. I'm not blowing. You know how I feel about, but she is just a singer of singers.
Yes.
A singer of singers.
But you know what, Ali, is really strange, because when you think about the music, when we go overseas in the UK, they're listening to what's the song that they love?
My Heart Needs a Break, right?
Yeah, My Heart Needs a Break, and
it's all the up-tempo stuff.
All the up-tempo stuff.
None of the ballads. She's like the queen of Northern Soul. They don't rock with any of the ballads. Like for them, it's all up-tempo stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Right?
They go all, I mean, it's literally
Can't Live My Life Without You, that song.
Can't Live My Life Without You. And they have nights, Linda Jones nights, where they just dance to Linda Jones. Like they loop it, they mix it, they do it.
Is that right?
It's like a movement.
It is.
Yeah. They
send us the videos and everything. They send us the videos of everybody in dance. I was like,
dancing. Wow. It's a real thing. Like we do the steppers.
Yeah,
they do that Northern Soul nights.
Wow.
And they call
that is awesome. That is awesome. The folks overseas have a much different appreciation for our music and our artists than anyway. You know what I'm saying? So nothing really surprises me coming from overseas, because those folks know every word.
They do.
When it was written, who wrote it, who backed up, who was in the back, who was in the studio. They know everything about everything. You know, so I'm not surprised about that. But it's just interesting to hear you say that they chose the upbeat songs, which Linda over here is not popular for.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
But over there, you play Hypnotize, they all walk off the like what? But you play that up, they go on. They go like
Okay. Wow. That's interesting. That's very interesting. Let me jump back in here. Kevin can't hold himself still. He's doing a good job of it, looking at it on screen. But I know how he's feeling inside. Kev, go ahead with your question.
Well, now I can take the straps off of me. Terry, what I really admire the most about your mom's voice was the strength of it. And when she sings directly from the heart, not from the throat. She sings from the heart, and you don't hear that kind of voice anymore. And the only person in modern day now, but this person's going too, was Whitney Houston. Had that type of strong voice. But nowadays, all you hear is these squeaky voices. Every time my granddaughters are playing it, my dog's barking.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah.
But when I'm playing your mom's music, he says, "Sit there and just watch."
Wow.
Listen.
All right.
Wow.
All right. Thanks, Kev. We'll be back at you in just a second. Terry and Helen.
Yes.
Let's go back to December 14th, 2021. Sherman Avenue. Tell us how that came about. I left here from Philadelphia with Smoke, the lead singer of the Ebonies, myself, and my cousin Tina. We were definite. I told George, I said, I'll be there. So we got there, and before you got there, Terry, I'm gonna have to tell you this. I went up and sat on the step.
Okay.
Oh, sure, but I went up and sat on the step. Yeah, yes. I went up and sat on Mom's step. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Tell us how that came about, the naming of the street and what have you. Tell us how that came about.
Well, there were people from Newark, and we have a great friend that works for the city and was like, listen, we need a street named after Mom. And Helen and I worked with them and with city council, and they were like, absolutely, this needs to happen. But prior to the street naming, they named December 14th each year in Newark is Linda Jones Day.
Yes.
In 2008, that was some. So they gave us a proclamation. So each year we try to do something to celebrate Mom. So the street naming was the second thing that they, honored us with on behalf of Mom. That was just really magnificent, because that's where all of my, as a little kid, memories were. That's where my grandmother and my mother and we all lived there. So me going back there and just seeing it, it's just, I don't know, it's just amazing to me. It's just really something,
Yeah.
And
remember we almost we got in on the meeting that morning. We had to get all the paperwork together, and that morning they were having a meeting, and if we didn't make it from Philly to that meeting, we would have had to have the naming of the street the following year, like in the spring or summer or something.
Like May or something.
Like we wanted it on December 14th. And they were like, there's no way you're going to get. Just so happened a friend of ours who we know, who we sing with, her best friend's aunt was the one to hit the gavel to say yes or no. And when she found out that it was us, they said, let's go. So that's how we got the final approval.
And I had an opportunity, Helen, if you remember this, you and I both, prior to us leading up to that, we would go there and knock on the door, because I wanted to go in there and feel that feeling.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean? And I knocked on the door, we would knock, and people weren't home, and we waited and waited.
Right.
They came home and they let me go in there, me and Helen. And it was just so many memories that just, you know what I mean? It was really deep.
Yeah. That's awesome. That is awesome. That's really awesome. Well, I'm going to talk more about that on my show, after we get up here. But that was a very, very special day for me to see your reaction, and yours as well, Helen, how that when that plaque was handed to you. I know you guys knew it was coming, but I guess it's just that particular moment when it happens, to see. And then Freddie Jackson was standing next to you. And what's his name from Black Ivory was there. Stewart. Stewart was there. There were quite a few people there that were notables, if you will. You know what I'm saying? George was standing next to you. I thought it was an awesome thing. And then the sort of after party was a lot of fun.
That was really fun, right?
Yeah. The after party was a lot of fun.
It was super emotional. I tend to be the one to hold it together, try to hold Terry together. And I was telling her in the ear, come on, you can do it. You can do it. And then here I go. I'm like, oh man. So moving.
I wasn't gonna say anything about that, Helen, but now that you brought it up,
But I'm telling you, every award, every honor, I mean, I don't care. It could be from the smallest organization in the world to the big, it doesn't matter. We're just always grateful and thankful for people just showing so much love. The National R&B Hall of Fame, we flew to Detroit for that. That was great. Of course, we just had the Black Tie Gala with Vanessa Jordan, you know what I mean, the National R&B Music Society, just thanking them. And then the WMEL award as well in Baltimore. So every time somebody calls, I don't care who it is. I'm just thankful and grateful that people are still recognizing Mom. So that's where I'm at with it all.
I got you. And I appreciate what both of you are saying about that, because of the fact that the people who are looking to do something, they don't have to do it.
No,
they can look in a different direction. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Yeah, they don't have to do it. Even though I think there's a lot more out there to be discovered. Simply, and when I say discovered, maybe not discovered, recovered. Let me put it that way, because it's already been out there. It's just, matter of fact, I'm having an ongoing conversation with Vanessa now about the legendary Jocks. If it wasn't for the Jocks, you would not have heard that music.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
That I'm having an ongoing thing with her, and I think that she's doing a wonderful job. I think they're doing a great job.
I love it.
But again, I'm trying to, get more people, especially of color, recognized for what they've done. You know what I'm saying?
And we have to. There is it's as if they moved out all of the soul and R&B like
Yes.
as if it doesn't. But I know that, you know, the Rolling Stones always regarded, Elton John regarded, Barbara Streisand regarded. So I'm saying, and right now, that people say R&B is not pop. Oh, no, no, no. R&B and soul is huge, but it's not on the major platforms, because whomever controls the media controls the mind. And once they
Stop
got
it,
rid
baby.
of black
Stop it.
radio,
Somebody pass the plate here. Somebody pass the plate.
but don't get, I'm on my, when I go on my soapbox, it's not, I'm gonna take it down for a minute, but because when they just pretty much destroyed black radio and it went corporate to Wall Street, that's what killed our culture and community. So Ali, I want to thank you and everyone on this panel, because what you're doing is not finite. It really is moving across, and we need it. You can't stop, and hand it down and keep it going, because this is the fabric of whom we are as African Americans, as music, who got us through it all. So I'm gonna get off my soapbox and go.
No, but you know what, Helen, and I, you know, I wish we had more time, because you are absolutely 100% correct, and I can speak for the music lovers, everybody here. That's what we feel the exact same way. We just saw another show. The professor showed us another show where somebody else is trying to emulate what we're doing. It's good to a degree, but my whole thing is, you know, you got a brain, come up with something on your own. You know what I'm saying? And go forth with it. But going back to your topic, you are absolutely correct. When corporate took over, jocks used to rule the airwaves. Georgie Woods and Sonny Hobson and all of those cats from this area here, Butterball, and the name goes on. And then when I went to Trenton and was a jock up there, I found out Nino Wall Davis and all of those cats. Those guys rule the airwaves. And I think that corporate America just said, no, we can't have them tying up and being too powerful like this. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Because it was a jock who brought a record in and put it on the table and said, y'all listen to this. We'll make it or break it. And that was the whole thing.
And I'll tell you this too. Remember, Terry, when Mr. Gamble, Mr. Huff, Mr. Berry Gordy, and Al Bell and Smokey Robinson invited all of us, all of the next generation, to Philly International, and told us, if you don't hold on to your music, R&B, you're going to lose it. And they talked about how we were competing, but we were competing in love, where they would say, Al would say, listen, I got this new Isaac Hayes. And they say, well, guess what? We got this new Temptation. And then Mr. Gamble would say, well, we got Wake Up Everybody. And they will all help each other to make sure it was going. That's gone now.
Yes.
But they all did their own thing, like you said. There's somebody else, instead of doing what you're doing, do your own thing, but help each other.
Exactly.
It's enough. It's enough sweet potato pie for everybody.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So there you
go.
Go.
That's a good. I just saw Andrew lick his lips when you said sweet potato pie, but I know what you're talking about. Drew, I'm coming to you. Go ahead, Drew.
Yes, ladies. Any consideration for a book or a documentary where we can learn more of your mom? Has that been considered?
Let me tell you, yes. Every day there is something coming through. People want to do movie scripts or documentaries. So we've been trying to hold tight, because we want to make sure that whatever is put out, it's the correct story. It's not these made up things that we've been trying to clean up for over the years. So, but it's coming. Something's coming. It's hot on the press.
It is. Yeah.
I'm gonna go around the room, and then I want to come back to that statement there, Terry. Okay. Let me jump over here to Diane. Go ahead, baby doll.
Ladies, now, Helen, what you were talking about, you know, music not being music, I hardly ever listen to commercial radio any longer.
That's right.
And I had Sirius, and that was like, you know, the soul station. They play the same thing every day, right? At the same time every day. So I discovered Southern Soul Blues, but they play your mother on there too. Yeah, so that's what I listen to. And they have one, oh my God, what's the name of it? R&B classic R&B. They have a station on there too, and they play everything on there. So that's what I listen to, because this music out here now sucks. Okay, that's all I can say is it sucks. You know, I came up in the late 50s and the 60s, so you know, I heard everything, everybody, but this music now sucks. You know, I like who is that guy? Orlando, what's his name?
That sounds like Marvin Gaye.
October London.
October London. Yeah, he's good. But most of it just sounds horrible.
You know what? These labels, that's all they want to put out. They actually dictate what goes out.
Because you can't understand half of what they're saying anyway. So, and it doesn't have any, you know, doesn't move you. It don't move me, first of all.
You know what? This is the first generation of I would say vocalists that they didn't start in the church.
Okay.
So their basis
good point. Good point. Very good point.
So that soul that, you know, get into it. If you notice, none of their bios say, "Oh, I sung in the choir." No, I started in my friend's basement, and we were on the computer, and boom,
very good point.
Foundation.
Very good point.
Does not come from a spiritual base. That's why it's very hypersexual. You know what I mean? And there's not innuendos, it's just straight out in your face. But that's what corporate America wants to infiltrate into the Black community, because how come Taylor Swift is not singing and saying that? Not that she's the greatest singer, but it's pure and it's innocent. You know what I'm saying? The whole nine. But then you have, you know, Megan Thee Stallion, you know what I'm saying? So it's all it's a plan. Y'all, you'll see it. So that's why you guys are important.
Wow, that's very well said. Very well said. Thank you, Di. Kev, Jay, come on in.
Yeah, Helen, I like What Have I Done also. I like that a lot. But in the world of remakes, Terry, have you thought of redoing Hypnotize?
I actually, believe it or not, years ago I did. I do it in our shows. I don't know if you've had an opportunity to see that, but I perform it live. But yes, I'd love to be able to record it again. I haven't thought about doing it recently, but I do perform it live in Helen and I when we perform. That, and we've been asked to go overseas because, of course, they want to hear Linda Jones stuff. So we'll probably incorporate some of those songs within, you know, what we do overseas as well.
Good question, Jay.
It's hard to compete with your mother, right?
Yeah.
And people forget how old she was when she sung that, 19.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So,
Good question there, Jay. Good question. Kevin, come on in.
Great question.
Kevin, come on in.
Terry, I might have missed this, but have the creators of the TV documentary Unsung, had they ever approached you about doing that documentary on your mom, or had they? If they have, I might have missed it.
Other people have been saying we should do an Unsung on Mom, but in particular, the station, they have not as of yet.
I can't see why not. I mean, I seen people they did Unsung who sucked as far as I'm concerned. You know?
I know. Listen, you know,
Kevin is straight with no chaser.
We dealing with this corporate beast, as I would call it. You know what I mean? And working around those logistics, because a lot of times, I mean, they want to do these things, but then they want to own it. And you know, you want to do deals and things where you have control over what it is, that it's the imaging and everything. So if the right deal comes along from them, of course, absolutely we would do it. But we know some artists that's done the Unsung and they're not getting paid a dime, and it's their story. And it's really not about the money, but it's just more about principle. You know, the network just can't keep collecting and not really giving these artists that are called unsung their just due. You know what I mean? You have artists that are struggling. They're not getting any royalties. A lot
of them are struggling. A lot of them are struggling.
Shows that should be a source of income for those artists.
Exactly.
And it's not.
Exactly. Good question, Kev. Good question. Let me move over to the professor real quick because we're running out of time here.
Yeah. So on that, that's like the behind the scenes stuff. What you're talking about was unsung, but I started watching Unsung when it first came out, and that first season was awesome.
Wow.
And it started to slowly go downhill, and I was like, "What's going on? Why do they have these people on here? This is so far from what it was when it started. It didn't make any sense." So now, before it was like, for me, must see TV. And now it's like, I don't care whether I see it or not. I just look to see who's on there. And then if I like them, I do. And if I don't, I don't. But your company, I wrote it down because I didn't want to say it wrong. Philerzy?
Yes, you got
Okay. Philerzy. Have you come across any talent of today that you think would possess the same type of longevity that the artists from back in the day did?
I would say a few. One in particular that Helen and I have been working with since she was 11 years old. She's on The Voice now. She actually just premiered this last week. Her name is Ali Hackett, and she has a bright future. As long as the right people are in her camp. So right now, Helen and I are working with her and hoping for the best for her. She is a super talent.
She's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Just if you can go on demand and listen to her, it was the blind auditions, and she sung Love and War by Tamar Braxton, and Tamar just retweeted it and just said, "Forget me singing it. That little girl got it." And she's 23. She's amazing. It really.
And you know what? She's amazing. And so it's like artists like Samara Joy, who is in the jazz genre, but she is really super talented. We had an opportunity to be at an event and she performed. They were honoring Barry Gordy and Smokey Robinson. And they stood up the whole time. When she opened her mouth, they couldn't believe it. It was unbelievable.
Mm-hmm. But it's hard finding the kids with dedication, like Aaliyah Kalen. Since 11 years old, we had her, and she just graduated from Berkeley. So because the industry right now is so crazy. I don't know if you guys know, but they just fired 150 people from Atlantic Records. They just dropped over 50 to 75 artists. So the whole industry is changing. It's becoming more not about creating superstars, but TikTok, one hit wonders, make a lot of money and deal with catalog music. Right. So the kids, what's happening, they don't have the stamina. They, they're in it for like a year, and if it doesn't pop, it's like, I don't want to do that no more. I'm going to go do something else. So nobody really, all the kids that we started working with the studio, Ali, all of them, none of them are in music now. They just like, oh well, whatever. So they're not in it to like, eat sardine cans out of sardine cans on the road. Right. All those say, oh no. And if you notice, the new kids now, they're quitting every time something goes wrong. You got Mary Lennox. I'm out of it. Lizzo, I quit. Oh, they could never deal with what our mom Linda and OJs and all. No, never.
Right. They were on the bus, going in the back door. They couldn't even walk through the front door of these places.
Right.
And go back. Right. Exactly. Right. So they don't have the tenacity. And if we could find somebody aside from Aaliyah as well with the tenacity, oh please, we would. Let's go. You know what I mean? But they're not. They can't. They have no staying power.
No.
I appreciate wholeheartedly the way you guys have Terry, you and Helen, the way you have articulated the business. We know this, excuse me, we know this for the world. What 30 years ago, 40 years ago is non-existent today. But even in this business and the, like you said, the staying power that they don't have now will not allow them to be. If they don't hit something right away and become a superstar, they're walking out the door. They're not trying to go to rehearsal. They're not trying to learn the business. Because that's what you have to do. You have to learn the business. As long as I've been in this business, I don't know everything that there is to know, but I keep pushing forward on what I do know. And now I've got surrounded by some other folks that feel the exact same way. This is what I tell them when you guys are not here, or when we talk and we have our meeting. This show is, I feel, and it's maybe just my passion. And my wife keeps putting me in check. She said, look, everybody doesn't feel the same way you feel. You know what I mean? This is a thing that must be done as far as I'm concerned. Must be. Not casually, not maybe. This must be done in order for the folks that come behind us to know what the hell is going on.
That's right. That's right. And you know, a lot of these kids, they go straight from the studio, wherever that might be, to the stage. There's no in between. There's no let's go into rehearsals after the record is done so that I can get my live performance. They even have auto-tune on the mics, the live mic. So they make a mistake. Guess what?
Yeah.
The mic is correcting it.
Fix it.
And not saying everybody is doing that, but there's no in between.
Majority.
Back in the day, those artists would go from making the record to rehearsals to performance. It was just a different time and a different thing.
Yeah. And
also, we try to carry in what we do, Helen and I, we try to carry that with us in terms of that is what we do. We're not just going to do the record. You got to rehearse, period.
Yeah. And you got to hone your craft.
Yeah.
You got to hone your craft before you even make the record.
Yes, you do.
You know what I mean? And also labels, they don't give artists the opportunity to grow, where Aretha 7 albums before she got to Respect.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I mean, we could go on and on with how many albums people did. Bruce Springsteen before they had the one. Now, if your record is not popping in 16 weeks, they drop.
Wow.
It's a new day.
It's crazy.
So that's why independent labels and radio, you could forget it. You know, where before, you did have to maybe buy somebody some dinner or do some other, but now you better buy up at least $50,000 worth of ads.
Right.
Get your record around, you know. So it's a different world.
Listen, we have got, I mean, talking with you ladies is just it just as you say makes my heart smile. It really does. So we've got to do this again. We got to let a little time pass. Y'all go overseas, bring some tomato soup back or something. I don't know, whatever. We got to listen, but we got to do this again because I enjoyed this immensely. I'm going to go around the horn one time. You guys say your goodbyes so we can go ahead. Diane, you up first, baby. Go ahead.
It was a pleasure talking to you ladies again, and I'll still keep up with you on Facebook.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dad. Drew, go ahead, brother.
Ladies, it was a wonderful talking with you. And you need to write 2 books. One on your mom, and Miss Helen Bruner, you need to write a book on the music business 101. I'll be first to on the Bombay.
Oh, thank you.
I am very, very impressed with your astuteness in the music business. Much respect to you both, ladies.
Thank you, Drew.
Thanks, Drew. Jay, go ahead up, bro.
Yes, it was a pleasure, ladies. Enjoyed conversating with you, and I checked the calendar, and 14th is on a Saturday, so I think we'll be making a class trip up there.
There you go.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. It's going to be we got some things leading up to Mom's birthday, which would be December 14th. So stay tuned.
Just let me know what they are, and I'll pass the word on, baby.
Fantastic.
Okay. We hope
Kevin,
that you
come on in, bro.
Terry, Helen, I personally like to thank the 2 of you for taking time out of your precious schedule just to be with us. And I've learned things from the 2 of you about your mom that I would never have known if I wasn't on this program with y'all, with everyone here. And I want to say again, just thank you, and I hope we can see you 2 again.
Thank you. Thank you, Kevin.
Thanks, Kev. Professor, come on in and take us home, babe. Hold on one second. Let me get you up here. Go ahead. Go ahead, Professor.
Okay, thanks. It's been a pleasure again. This has been very enlightening. I will say that when I get off of here, I will be calling my sis and make sure that she saw this, because she's probably going to be, oh my God. But believe me, you really, really got a couple of fans out here like crazy. I don't know what people would do without this music these children, they have so much to learn.
They do.
It's just ridiculous, some of the stuff that I hear. I don't listen to commercial radio too much either. You know, I have a collection of music myself, and everything I listen to is basically 60s and 70s, some 80s, a little bit of 90s where Luther was concerned and stuff, but other than that, no, I stay around the 70s and the 60s. But I'm glad you guys are keeping it alive as well.
Thank you so much to this generation, you know?
Yeah.
Well, we're working on a new album, so we're going to make sure you get it, Professor.
Okay.
And all of y'all, so y'all can let us know, because I know y'all going to tell us the truth.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Well, on behalf of the Music Lovers LTD, I don't have to, I'm going to say for them, they love you. I don't have to tell you I love you because you already know that. You already know that. And we'll definitely be in touch. This I think has been a very, very enlightening show tonight with the information that you guys have shared. I say this all the time, and not because it's, our show, but what you guys have let out the bag tonight, if you will, you're not going to find that on the back of a record. You're not going to find that on the inside of a sleeve of a CD. It's only through talking to you face to face that these things come out. And I am so appreciative that I can pick up the phone and say, you guys are my friends. I'm very, very appreciative of that.
Same here.
And
please keep me informed of December, what's going on with that, so I can let the gang know. And I have no problem putting gas in the car coming up to hang out with you. I have no problem.
Right, you got it.
And one more thing, Mom has a song that's in the Grammy consideration for 2024 right now. So we're keeping our fingers crossed for another.
Okay.
We'll let you guys know. Either way, it's all good, right?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Listen, we're moving on. Don't forget, everybody that's listening out there in the radio world and what have you, at 10 o'clock, from 10 o'clock to 2 in the morning, I will be doing the life story of Linda Jones musically. So tune in, WPPM 106.5 FM or phillycam.org/listen. If you missed it, go to my Facebook page. It's on my Facebook page. I will be talking about Terry. I will be talking about Helen. Only good stuff now. Only good stuff. And I'll be talking about Linda Jones and George and my experiences with them and what have you. So thank you so much. Next week's guest, let me put my music on. Next week's guest is Mr. Bobby Massey, one of the original members of the OJs. He's going to be with us next week, so tune in for that. And you guys have a great week. Where's my music at? Where the hell is my music? There it is. Okay, come on, music. There it is. Okay. No, it ain't coming in yet. There we go. Okay. Next week is our guest, one of the original members of the OJs, one of us 5 of them. So he's going to have some stories to tell us about the OJs. Be sure and tune in. We love you all. Have a great, great weekend. Terry and Helen. Mwah!
Thank you.
See you soon.
All right.
Good night, everybody. Take care. God bless.